So we just got back from stand-up comics, and it was nice to visit a shop that I haven't been to in probably 5 or 6 years. I did frequent this place when I was younger, and then I just kind of forgot about it. Went through a couple of different owners, went through a rough patch, and then they had a re-grand opening, and decided to check it out again. And I came out with a ton of books. Because I didn't know what to expect from going to the shop, I did not go in walking with my usual comic book container, which is kind of like a hard case that you can fit about 10 to 15 comics in a bag and board. You know, from now on I am gonna bring this with me everywhere, but I just didn't have it with me when I went to stand-up comics. And yeah, I definitely paid the price for that. I had to end up putting all 15, 20 books in a paper bag, and it just felt so embarrassing. You know, walking around the block with a paper bag full of comic books just doesn't feel right. Don't forget to bring this with you no matter what. Even if you don't think you're getting anything, bring it. They have like one of the best selections of current issues that I've ever seen, and their back issues, basically if you missed an issue in the last 3 or 4 years, you'd probably find it there. And luckily for me, I was looking for books around that time period. So yeah, let's take a look at them. So the first book I got is Big Trouble in Little China #5. This is the Eric Powell cover. Really, I love his art style, and the cool thing about this is on the back side is an ad for Escape from New York, which is another movie that was made by John Carpenter, who also made the movie of Big Trouble in Little China. So I'm a fan of the movie and this artist, and so I intend to get this signed by John Carpenter at some point. And yeah, just a really cool cover. And I'm a huge fan of the movie. Since they had other back issues from the same series, this is Big Trouble in Little China #8. This artist is, his first name I don't remember, but his last name is Cerrito. He has done a few covers, but his art style is also pretty amazing. Just really love the line work and the colors. It just really pops. He's done a few covers for other titles, but I just really enjoyed that the villains in the movie were highlighted on this cover. The next book I got is Catwoman 14. This is an Art Germ cover. I'm a fan of the Batman the Animated Series cartoon, and so this is basically the Catwoman from that show, updated with his art style, and it is just gorgeous. I This is the first time I saw this in the wild, and so I picked it up. And I mentioned in a few videos a while back that once you've seen the way he draws his female characters, they start to look the same after a while. But I've noticed that recently he's started to vary his art style a little bit. It's no longer just painted, and this one kind of looks a little more illustrated. And yeah, I'm really digging what he's doing right now, and so he might make a fan out of me after all. Had to pick this up. I think this is the J.J. Abrams written Spider-Man story. I can't remember what the official title was, but this just popped and I knew I had to get it. I have a few other Spider-Man covers where it's kind of just zoomed in on his eye, and yeah, just really enjoyed the simplicity of this cover. Next one is Marvel Tales Black Panther #1. This is a Jen Bartel cover. Just really love the way she uses color in her work, and I just really thought this cover popped, and I actually had never seen this in a shop either, and so I knew I wanted to get it. This is Dead Man Logan #2. This cover actually means the most to me because when I read the Old Man Logan series, I mean, if you read that story, then you know the significance of this image. And I did talk about this cover a while back, but the unfortunate thing about that was there was a smudge on the cover that I didn't see when I bought it. And so I was just like, I'm not gonna keep this. But I found this again, and there's no smudges. It is super clean. Might get this signed. I don't know when or where, but I just really love this cover. This is Miles Morales Spider-Man #7. Really appreciate the art being used on this cover just because it is directly referencing the art style in the Into the Spider-Verse movie, which I really enjoyed. This is Aquaman 52. This is the Joshua Middleton variant. I just really love the way he illustrates his covers. He's done a series of Batgirl, Martian Manhunter, and now he's working on Aquaman, and I think this might be the last issue in the run that he's working on, but he just came out of nowhere for me, and now I am a huge fan. His covers are like works of art. They're just so pretty, you know? It's like he captures the moments that you normally would not expect from a superhero cover. It just adds like this extra artistic eye to superheroes that he works on. So I saw this and I bought it. So these next few books I'm really excited about because they were like $5 for $6 or something. These were all back issues. So a lot of these books weren't on any want lists or any books I was actually after. I tend to just kind of look through these back issues and kind of see whatever comes out. There might be a few books that I've thought about getting, but the price is never right or the condition wasn't that great. But because of this deal and the pretty high condition that these back issues were in, I definitely made an effort to try and take advantage of that. So the first one is Hulk versus Iron Man. This is Original Sin #1. This is a variant cover by Mark Bagley. Just something about it feels so... I feel like this is like a horror cover to me. Yeah, this cover just stood out to me, so I went for it. This is a cover I've never seen before. This is Battle World Secret Wars Journal #2. I didn't realize that these characters are actually Spider-Man villains. You have like Kraven here just leaning back, and then you got Rhino in the background, just chilling. I'm assuming that's Green Goblin up here, and then you've got like Vulture here with a sniper pistol. I can't remember who the purple one was. I think that might be Mysterio. The colors didn't quite give it away, so but I just really like this sort of Miami Vice 80s vibe that this cover is giving off, so I went for it. This is DC Universe Rebirth Trinity #15. I've seen this cover before, but it just looked a lot better in person. And this is actually an illustration based off of Batman v Superman. And And you don't actually see a lot of comic covers where they reference the actors in the movies. And so, I mean, this is obviously Ben Affleck, and this is obviously Gal Gadot. It's unfortunate you can't see Henry Cavill's face, but yeah, I just really like the way this artist painted them. And so I picked it up. Next up is JSA number 78. I automatically knew this was an Alex Ross cover. I'd never seen it before, and this is of The Flash, but the Golden Age version. You can tell because of his bowl hat over here. And yeah, the blacks on this cover are super nice, and so he pops out. And yeah, I decided to go for it. Next up is All New Invaders number 9. I cannot remember this artist for the life of me, but I have a bunch of covers of his. He renders characters really well, and I just love this cover of Deathlock looking like a badass taking out everybody, so couldn't resist. Next up is Robin 95. I've never seen this cover before, but I automatically knew that this was a Bill Sienkiewicz cover by the line work. Very sketchy. But I just really love the colors and the action going on in this cover. Next is Amazing Spider-Man 1.5. This is part of the Amazing Grace saga. This is a Bianchini cover. I'm also a fan of his art style. I just really like noir, shadowy, mysterious vibe I'm getting from this cover. So next up is Justice Society of America 24, another Alex Ross cover. I really love that you have Black Adam just throwing down. I'm assuming this is like a giant man type character in the DC universe. I just really like the sense of scale. You really get the sense that he's a small guy throwing down a huge guy. I've seen this cover before, always wanted it, but I never saw it in a price or condition I wanted, and I finally did. Excuse me. So these next few covers are by Jenny Friesen, who's an up-and-coming artist, and I really love the way she draws hands, and it's a weird thing. Seen before, but never wanted to pay like $8 for, but this was $1, and I went for it. Sorry, this is X-Men Red number 8. And the next one is X-Men Red number 9. I always love seeing Nightcrawler get some solo cover action, and I always I'm always interested in seeing how artists interpret Nightcrawler, and this is the first time I've seen Nightcrawler with a beard. But yeah, very cool. I love the purple. And last but not least, it's Planet Hulk number 2. I'm not sure who the artist is on this, but it took me a while to figure out what I was looking at and from what angle. The series of these covers are all great, but this was the only one that was in a really nice condition. I just really enjoy that you're kind of underwater looking up, which took me forever to realize that's what was happening. And then what was really cool was that Captain America is riding a dinosaur in like a river. Like, what a badass. And that's it. That was my haul from Stand Up Comics. That was probably one of the biggest hauls I've had in a while. I just kind of went buck wild in there. The 5 for $6 was a great deal. I highly recommend checking it out if you're in El Cerrito, California. But yeah, that was my haul. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.